Yes, she does.
And Karen, you have had Sophie for how long?
Since she was 7, which will be about 11 years.
Okay. And I'd love to hear all about how you found a fjord horse.
Well, I went to the evaluation at Frying Pan Park, the breed evaluation that they were holding there. I think it was 13 or something, 12. And my friend was coming from Blacksburg, bringing 2 fjords to the evaluation to be evaluated, which is based on the Norwegian breed methods of where they have evaluations for the breeding purposes for the Norwegian horses. And she had brought Sophie and the gelding. And I just ended up, for my younger daughter, seeing the opportunity, and I bought some.
Okay. And you mentioned your younger daughter rides her frequently and does all kinds of shows.
Yes, she does. I got her. We started in Pony of America shows down in off of 81 near Lexington in Virginia, and all kinds of Western and Gymkhana and racing with her. Which is not really what fjords were initially kind of designed for, but she went along and was really good at it. And then she did a lot of jumper shows at Frying Pan Park, and a lot of 4-H shows, and then did a lot of pony club, mounted games with her, and got her C rating and sea level horsemanship riding with pony club with her, having to jump like 3 feet. And we were in 4-H club with the Fairfax County. The horse activities were based in Frying Pan Park, so we were there regularly with 4-H clubs. And now her farm is a 23-acre horse farm that's had horses on it continually for probably at least a century, and it was just sold, and the owners are trying to make a community equestrian center there, and they're planning on building a barn and trying to offer boarding and lessons. And from there, you can ride out right to Great Falls on the Cross County Trail. Yeah, we've ridden the whole Cross County Trail. Sophie has all the way. It's 42 miles from not in the one day, but in 3 different trips. It goes from Occoquan to Great Falls. It is beautiful. It's mostly along the stream valleys in Fairfax County, so it's really nice. It's fun.
Does Sophie like that?
She really does. Sophie is just a trooper. I mean, she likes to be with her buddies, so she has 2 friends in her pasture. So we usually take them as well. She prefers to have her friends around. But she does like to get out and she's meet other horses and people and see the sights. She's really good with just about anything, like traffic or anything. And so it's just genetic coloring is a dorsal stripe. So some animals have that dorsal stripe, so it's called dun in horses. And the dun coloring just gives that dark melanin stripe along the spine. So it goes right from here all the way down past the tail. And it just grows very dark in the middle and then lighter on the sides. So it's kind of so tough and warm and it's strong. So it actually doesn't really look very good if you don't cut it. Yeah. If you don't cut it, it really gets kind of messy looking and bushy. So So you kind of want to cut it regularly, and then you can do all kinds of things. Like some people, we've done it before, but you can do hearts in it, and you can do it straight up. But yeah, but my daughter just tried to do for this the more traditional Norwegian style is like the castle cut here is the more, it's probably the most traditional Norwegian way of cutting it.
She's just precious. She's so mellow. And you said that you got her in Shenandoah, the Shenandoah area.
Yes, yeah. She was born near Blacksburg, actually, but the farm that the Bay Shore farm that she was bred on was in Woodstock.
Okay.
All around 81, yeah.
What do you think so? You want another treat, don't you? She's like, lady, quit talking to me. Where's my treat?
No, she likes people and she likes attention. And she likes food. She's Norwegian.
Yeah, she's been mostly eating hay
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. She's I think she's not as hungry as usual because she's interested in all the attention.
And treats.
Yes, and treats. She's like, yeah, there's lots going on for me to see, pay attention to.
Now, when she whinnied, was she excited or angry or what was that?
No, that was just checking if any of her friends were nearby.
Oh, I see.
She's just saying, hey, I'm over here if anybody's looking for me. Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
cool.
they're herd animals, so they're very social with other horses. So it can be a little bit stressful for her to be all by herself, but she's not bothered too much by it. But like Karen always brought two. Usually when we take her, we have a 2-horse trailer, you two, because they're a little bit comforted with their own company and with their friends, So that's why they whinny is just to check and see if maybe their friend is nearby and they want them to know that they're over here. Right? Yeah.
She's like, I got any friends there, why? Besides all these people.
She's so stocky.
Yeah, she's a draft. And she also looks a little bit more stocky than she is because of her winter coat is so fluffy right now. So she doesn't look quite this stocky in the summertime, but she is stocky. I think the old style horse, for practical reasons, especially in Norway, is they don't have to be that big. They just have to be strong. So they're not large horses, but they're better that way for riding. I think more modern horse enthusiasts want a bigger horse. They just want a bigger horse. But for practical reasons, this is really a good size because you can carry anybody. You can work really hard,
And you walk alongside at a good level, right?
Yeah.
The horse isn't like, it's below eye level for me.
Yeah.
So.
And it's more healthy too, because the bigger they are, the harder it is on their body. So they're very sturdy. This is a very sturdy size for a human companion, basically, because you can ride them, you can have them do work for you, and they got a great coat, so they really stay warm in the winter.
And how would like a typical family have used a horse? Would they, in the middle of winter, would they take the horse and go into town? Was that, or were they too remote for that, or?
No, they use the horse for transportation and for work, and just, we were talking about before they had cars, that horse would be what they used for transportation. So if they had anything, for work, to move resources from one place to another, lumber or whatever, these horses would pull. So they could walk them and have them do the work, or they could ride them. so that's where they're very versatile. These horses can pull carriages, they can pull logs, but they can also carry people. Of course, they can also pull carriages as well. So it's a very, very versatile breed.
In the middle of the coldest part of the winter, they would still be able to be outside working.
Yep. Yeah. And horses have the body temperature of 101 degrees all the time, and their digestion system is so long that the hay, they have to digest it a lot for a long time, and that creates a lot of heat. So the way that a horse stays warm is to digest forage, especially fiber. So as long as they have hay or forage that they have access to in the winter, they're going to be warm. They're going to stay warm. That just maintains their body temperature at over 100 degrees when they have that forage to digest. They're not, they're kind of the opposite of an Arabian as far as the kind of endurance that Arabians are designed to have, and they're more for low gear.
Right. She looks like she would be able to just kind of keep plugging along for a long time.
Yeah.
So is that the cut of the mane? That's
the more typical, more traditional, Norwegian style of cut. Like you kind of have to cut it because it just gets too. It gets too big, and it's just so much. If you don't cut it, it gets pretty hard to manage, and it's not as attractive. So it's quite normal to cut it, unlike most horses that aren't this type. So it's traditionally it's cut, and then there are different styles and different ways of cutting it, but this is the traditional one, the castle cut, because you can see how the black is different than the outside.
right.
It's what's kind of the symbol of the Norwegian fjord horse is their mane.
Okay. Yeah. This is the first fjord horse I've met. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, yeah.
She's a good girl.
Thank you so much. I think the hairdo. Yeah, so very fancy.
I just see the hello, my name is on the tag. Like right here, it just says Sophie.
I definitely learned it. I don't know, and now I can't think of what it is.
Yes. Yeah. You want to sit there? You want to sit down? Okay.
Oh my.
Is that enough? You ready to get out? You're not.
That's his Gus's blood right there.
How about now?
I think it's time to get down and we'll see some other things. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Say thank you for letting me be up here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
And we have a tail.
Yes.
A girl got an aisle.
What do you say, Lazarus?
Thank you.
fireplace, nice and warm. And then the trolls came. And they were really ugly trolls with long noses and long chins. And there was big trolls and medium-sized trolls and little trolls, even maybe your size. They came in, and it was nice and warm in the house, and the food was set on the table, lots of cookies, and they were eating and having a good time. But then the little troll thought, yeah, some fun with that kitty cat by the fireplace. Now remember, actually a polar bear. And the little troll takes some sausage and says, kitty, 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 want some food? Kitty, kitty, kitty. And the polar bear looks and he goes to go and take a bite, and the troll pulls him away. And then the troll goes, kitty, 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 want some food? Kitty wants some food? And the troll pulls it away.
How you doing that?
He's mean. He's a mean troll. He's teasing the polar bear. Well, the polar bear didn't like that. And the polar bear gets up and he starts running after the troll. And the troll starts running around the house. And before you know it, that polar bear, who they think is a kitten, is chasing all the trolls around the table. And the trolls don't like that. And they throw open the door and they run out into the woods screaming. And then the polar bear comes back, lays down by the fireplace, and goes back to sleep. Well, Thirsty took the polar bear once out and gave it to the king. But next year, Halvor was out chopping wood, getting ready for the trolls again. And he hears a voice. The voice says, Halvor! Halvor! And Halvor goes, who's that? And the voice says, it's us, the trolls. He says, Halvor, you still have that kitty cat? And Halvor says, yes, I do. And the kitty cat had kittens, and now we have 9 little kittens too. And the trolls say, no, no. And they scream and run. We say, Halvor, we're never going to come back to your place ever again. And that's the last he ever saw her. And that's the story of the polar bear who spent the Christmas Eve at Halvor's farm. What do you think of that story? You want to hear another story?
Again, it's, hello, Andy, and the groom makes a place for her. But now the queen starts whispering, and she says, and they say loud enough that everyone hears it. They don't whisper very softly. They say, well, how can it be that the bride is so beautiful and her aunts are so ugly? And the first aunt then speaks up, and she says, well, you know, when I was young, like your bride, I was beautiful. But I did so much spinning, and the more I leaned over my spinning, the longer my nose grew, until it looks the way you see it today. And then the second one spoke up, and she said, you know, I was beautiful too and slender like your bride, but I sat so long in the weaving bench that my backside got wider and wider, and now I'm as you see me today. And then the third one says, well, when I was young, I had beautiful blue eyes like your bride, but I sewed so much in such poor light that my eyes got larger and redder, and they're as you see them today. And then the prince says, well, thank you for warning me of this. And my bride is never going to spin or weave or sew.
Why was that?
They got her out of trouble. Now she's not do it.
Everybody wins.
Cat, they call them snow cats.
Yeah. Communal thing. She'll be into it. If it's not,
Usually the dominant color in cats is like the tiger stripe because they blend in with the background.
Yep.
But the folks in Norway said, you know, there's snow on the ground 6 months a year. So why shouldn't this be the dominant color?
Yeah. Giving dogs that used to have jobs similar to
the
what
white
they
cats
used to do.
developed, there were wild ones,
Wild
and
still a lot
people
employed by
would
hunters
let
for
their
deer,
females go
caribou,
outside and cavort with the wild white ones,
Whoa.
so that they would get some white kittens,
Oh, yeah.
and then just they kept breeding them that way, so
Yeah.
they could get the white ones.
Oh.
These guys with the Ouija's, we call them Ouija's, their claim to fame is they can jump from one tree, catch a bird in flight, and land in another tree. Wow. And this guy actually did that with a moth. He was on the table chasing the moth, and he jumped from the table, caught the moth, and landed on the counter, actually, from Copenhagen. A breeder there has the white cats.
So no, the cat is yours?
This is mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Personal.
How big do they get?
They're about 15 pounds. And they have their heads, they have a flat profile.
A lot of the
Well,
seagulls and stuff
really
don't
appreciate it. Kind of a flat profile. And
third
their
and final
head is an
is
equilateral
the last
triangle.
one, they'll go up the-
And their ears are little equilateral triangles.
One blue eye and one
One
green?
blue and one green. There are some white cats with blue eyes, but the breeder I got him from was working a lot with the genetics department in Pennsylvania and another geneticist to show that it can occur in other colored eyes.
Yep.
Keep them warm and keep the snow and rain from penetrating.
Yeah.
And believe me, it does keep the water from penetrating, because when I bathe them, I think I'm done, I rinse, and there's a whole other dry coat underneath this top coat.
Oh, wow.
They've got a lovely temperament. They're very, very sweet.
And how common are they? I thought I heard you tell
They're
him.
not extremely common. You see him in the show ring. The last time I took him in the show ring, there were only 2. He's neutered, and in cat shows you can show neutered. They call it premiership as opposed to championship. And he was up against the second best premier in the country.
Oh, wow.
Not just in the breed, but in the country. So needless to say, he came in second every time. And the breeding association of these cats are very responsible. They had a genetic mutation that caused the kittens to die.
Oh.
And the breeders worked with the geneticists at Penn Vet, University of Pennsylvania Vet School. And they developed a test so they could find out which cats were carrying that gene, and they took those cats out of the breeding program. So they eliminated that problem. The breeders eliminated that problem themselves, and so I thought that was extremely responsible. I don't know. I don't know how much they cost. I've never paid for one. All of mine came to me free.
That's lucky.
I got him and his sister because she was deaf, and the breeder wanted her to have a home with someone who knew. Well, his sister, we did a TV show with Jennifer, and
Yes.
his
That's it.
sister's the fidgety one, and she was sitting in my lap, and my husband was watching. I said, I was amazed at how calm and still she was, and he said she saw herself on the monitor and was watching herself, which is what she does. Yeah. When we first got them, he hid, and she sat up on the dresser looking at herself in the mirror, saying, "I'm so beautiful." Horrible as they say, they're a really, really sweet breed. Believe it or not, the snow cats, these guys do not like snow.
This is Puffin Anya Puffin.
He
We
was
call her
fine, and I was like,
Anya.
yeah.
She is a Norwegian Lundehund. She and
we
her
actually just
sister
started
are
coming
here.
to,
They'll be 3 years old
most of the
in
members of the lodge.
January.
So we come here once a month.
And they are Norwegian
Sometimes we
Lundehunds,
call
which,
her,
is,
and we haven't
which are
played
one
it.
of the
So it's
rarest
just us
dogs
with the
on
dog.
earth.
And you can come in.
Throughout tens of thousands of years,
Again, we're all very well
developing
socialized. The cat
and
is a
evolving in an
holiday.
island off the northern coast of Norway. They have all these unique anatomical features that no other dog in the world has. For example, they have 6 toes on every foot, and these are actual toes. They're not dew claws. And these 4 are just like a regular dog's paw, but these serve as thumbs, so they can grip and climb cliffs. They're able to hunt puffins by climbing the sea cliffs and finding their lairs that are buried in the crevices of the mountain. And they have very flexible spines and shoulders, so they're a dog that can stretch their arm straight out 90 degrees from their body to help break So if they do fall, they won't be able to stop themselves. They also have a super flexible spine, so if she lifted her head up, she could touch her back so that they could back out of tight spaces. Their ears independently fold shut so that they can keep debris out of it. And it's very windy on this island of Viroy. I've been there and I can attest to that. I heard about these dogs being AKC recognized in 2011, and I'm a yoga teacher, so I love their flexibility. I thought that was very unique. And throughout the years, I kept thinking about them. I had another dog, so I was, full house. And just during the pandemic, I kept thinking about it, and I was really into their preservation, because back in the 1960s, because of distemper wiping out the breed and other reasons, there were only 6 of them left on Earth. Right now, there are about 1,400. You're seeing one of 50 or so in North America.
The majority of them that you'll see pretty much anywhere,
yes.
at least once a month. There can be up to almost a dozen here.
Yes. And she's going to be in Westminster, so watch for her on TV. Hopefully she behaves herself, because they're very stubborn.
See, we're not in.
She was at the National Dog Show in 2022, and her sister, if you don't mind, I'll go pick her up. Okay, take 2. Here's Dagny. This is Seacliff's Dagny Deep. Dagny in Norwegian means a fresh new day. She is Anya's sister, her litter mate, and she has buns in the oven. She'll have between 3 and 4 puppies. We'll find out for sure soon. And it's very, very important to be able to keep the breed going, because if we didn't breed them, they would basically go extinct. There's parts of Scandinavia that these dogs are considered endangered. So every baby Lundehund is another opportunity to celebrate this breed and keep them going. They're a very primitive breed. They also have 4 fewer teeth, so they're able to cradle an egg without breaking it. And also, she has a very strong prey instinct. She looks very mellow now, but if she smells a mouse or she sees a bird, game on. So she once caught a baby bird. Its head was sticking out of her lips, and its wings were sticking out of these openings in her jaw, because she doesn't have teeth there. And I told her to drop it, and she spit it out, and it was perfectly fine. So there's a good end to that story. I know, I'm telling all your secrets. But yeah, they're very sweet dogs. They're sweet little mischief makers. They need a lot of exercise. And
like I said, they're really good.
They're just fantastic.